Welcome to my YouTube channel, Spirit for Adventure. We are aboard my Cape Dory 25D Goodnight Moon. And I purchased her about a year ago. And I've been kind of out sailing her and just doing that kind of stuff. And I'm about ready to start refitting her and getting her a little bit more prepped and a little bit prettier looking. I'm going to take you out on that adventure as well and show you all the things that I'm going to do to the boat. And then I'll also take you out sailing with me a couple times, and hopefully we can go out on a few adventures. Maybe go out to Galveston or sail down the coast. I'd love to be out, go out into the Gulf and to go see some blue water in this boat, because everything around here is brown. They don't call it G-Town brown for no reason. There's a few reasons I really like my boat. First of all, it's a modified full keel, and everybody seems to think that those they track pretty straight, and they really do. Her real advantage, though, is when she's heeled over, and she loves to heel. It's one of the reasons I actually really like this boat, because she's a little bit fun to sail. And when she heels over, she'll usually settle in about 20 degrees a heel, and she gets really firm. And beyond that, she gets even more stiff. And whenever you're sailing with heavy winds like that, you tend to get a lot of weather helm in some other boats that are a little bit beamier, a little bit different than the modified full keel or full keel boat. More like a fin keel, you tend to get a little bit more weather helm in those. But I've noticed whenever I sail her in high winds where I'm double reefed or on the verge of having to add a reef into my sail, that she really doesn't have a whole bunch of weather helm. I mean, it's pretty light. It's definitely manageable, and you put a reef in it, and then all the weather helm just tends to go away. Also, she has a very comfortable motion. I've taken her out and gotten her on some, small little waves. I haven't gotten anything big yet, but I see a whole bunch of other boats out there hobby horsing around, and her motion seems to be really kind, and she definitely feels kind when you're going through the bigger waves. Anyway, other than that, she's got quite a few different conveniences to her. She's got a stove that's inside. She's also got a water tank. She's got enough sleeping for 4. In fact, the berth that I'm sleeping on, the little settee here, actually slides out and will slide to the center of the boat, and makes for a pretty tight double wide. But you can still sleep 2 people here in relative comfort. And she's also got a full head and shower in the very front, which is kind of an odd layout, but I really enjoy it. It leaves me, I'm 6'4", and I've got my head's touching over here, and my feet are touching over here, but just barely, only barely, and I fit on the settee great. Also, the sea berth as well, I tend to fit in that extraordinarily well as well, and it's also a heck of a gear monster too. She's got a Yanmar 8 horsepower diesel motor in it. I've gone down to Galveston and motored the entire way down there and the entire way back, and that's about 30 to 35 miles from Kemah, and she just sips fuel. I think I used a whole whopping half a tank. No, it wasn't half a tank, it's quarter tank. Ended up using a quarter tank there and back, not like 1/4 there and then an extra quarter back. It was an 1/8 getting there and an 1/8 getting back. And I really love her for that. Some of the disadvantages of having a small motor like that are when the winds do pick up, and springtime comes around, the winds do pick up in the Houston area. And she can get a little bit crazy and trying to motor into the wind, where she doesn't motor anymore. Like into the wind, you just stall out, and then you have no steering control, and then trying to bring down sails and that kind of thing. She gets a little bit wild, but if you kind of motor off to the wind and then bring your sails down, just like a little off the wind, if the wind's coming in like this and just a little bit off, you can bring them down and keep motoring, not a problem. That's the only disadvantage I have with her, other than interior volume and height. But being 6'4", that's be pretty much any boat in this size range. But for her size, she is fantastic. I think she's got 5'11" of headroom, and she's got opening ports, which you can see here and here, and all the way throughout the boat, also into the head. There's some opening ports, 6 in all, and then I've also got a front hatch that's also able to lift up, and she really gets a lot of good ventilation in her. Absolutely fantastic. Well, I got the cover removed, and that way I could access my water supply right here. And in a Cape Dory 25D, this is where your water supply is. And the only thing that's keeping it in are a couple of fittings that are sitting on the back side in here, which I'll show you. And if you remove those, you can remove the entire water supply reservoir here. And well, let me just show you that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these right here. These are what I was talking about. I've got this one that feeds the foot pump down here, and then I've got these other two, which will help fuel or fill some of the other water stuff. All right, well, I got everything removed. Let's see if it all comes out. Which it all does. Here's the tank. It's pretty small. I'll show it to y'all outside. But at least it's removed. I don't think this thing's ever been taken out. It's always good to have fresh drinking water. Anyway, so that's the removal process, and that's pretty easy to get to. I mean, as you can see, that wasn't too hard. Just took a couple screws right around and through here, and you know, then that whole panel removes, and you just access everything through this like little cutout here, and those hoses are removed. And once you get the hoses removed, you can clean them out and replace them. Goes in about like so. Sorry, I'm moving y'all. Okay. And I got a check panel, which just slides right over where that thing would go.